Okay, we are live.
Hi guys.
Hi. කොහොමද අද GGY 180 දිනය අරගලය නව මුහුණුවරකට ඇවිල් තියෙනවා. ඒකට හේතුව ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා. දැන් පාරට බහලා බෝඩ්ඩුස්සන් ඉන්නවා වගේම මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අපිට වගකීමක් තියෙනවා පුරවැසියන් හැටියට එකතු වෙලා කතා කරන්න. මේ රටේ සිස්ටම් චේන්ජ් එකක් උනේ වෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ පසුබිම හැදෙන්නේ අරගලයක් සිද්ධ වුණේ. මේ සියල්ල සිද්ධ වුණේ අපේ මේ ජනතාව එකට එකතු වෙලා ඉස්සරහට ආපු හින්දා. Because we were active there. Yes. Because we came together. That's the basic thing. Because people දැන් පාලකයාට කමන්ට ඕන දේවල් කර ඉන්නේ අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ට කතිර ගහලා පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ වෙලා අපි කට වහගෙන පැත්තකට වෙලා ඉන්න ගින් තමයි මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඇති වෙන්නේ. අපි වොයිස් අවුට් කරනවා නම් අපි ඒවට විරුද්ධ වෙනවා නම් අපි විරෝධතා කරනවා නම් මේ දේවල් මේ විදිහට නොවෙන්නට තිබුණා. ඇත්තටම if you take the what do you call fertilizer එකේ ඉඳන් මේ අර්බුදය පටන් ගත්ත රුපියල හිර කරගෙන හිටපු එක. එතකොට වෙනත් ආකාරයෙන් එනකොට ඩොලර් එකට වැඩි ගාණක් හම් වෙන තැනට ගියා අපි හිර කරගෙන හිටියනේ රුපියල්. ඒ දේවල් වලට අපි අවබෝධයෙන් ජනතාවක් හැටියට එළියට ඇවිල්ලා කතා නොකරපු හින්දා තමයි ගොඩක් දුරට මේ පාලකයෝ මේ දේවල් කරන්නට ගියේ. සමහරක් වෙලාවට පොඩි විරෝධතාවයකින් දෙකකින් රට වැරදි මාර්ගය යන එක රිවර්ස් කරගන්න දෙමිච්ච එක අපිට අහිමි වුණා. ජනතාව ගොඩක් තමන්ගේ දේ කරගෙන ඉන්නේ නැති. ඉතින් ඒක වෙනස් කරන්න තමයි අපි මේ දැන් ඉදිරියට ආපු මේ නැගිටපු ජනතාව මේ අරගලයට එහා ගිය. දැන් අරගලය කියන්නේ මිනිස්සු පාරට එන එකනේ. දැන් එතනට ඇවිල් ඉවරයි. දැන් ඊළඟ පියවර වෙන්නේ නැගිටපු ජනතාව, the risen people. දැන් මේ අපි එකතු වෙලා මෙතනදී අපි සාකච්ඡා කරන්න හදන අද දිනේ තියෙන දැන් මේ වෙනකොට තියෙන මාතෘකා ගොඩක් තියෙනවා.
Chiran, can I make a point about that?
Yeah.
Now, today I spoke to somebody from the private sector.
Yeah.
Private sector එකේ කෙනෙක්. එයා කොහොමරි දැන් අවුරුදු 4කට 5කට ඉස්සෙල්ලා හොටෙල් එකක් හැදුවා. ටූරිසම් බූම් එක කාලේ හොටෙල් එකක් හැදුවා. දැන් මේ මම ටූරිසම් ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි එකේ ඉන්නේ. එයා මාත් එක්ක ටූරිසම් ගැන කතා කරන්න අද කෝල් එකක් දීලා අපි නිකන් චිට් චැට් එකක් දානකොට කියනවා දැන් මේ හොටෙල්ස් ගැන පටන් ගත්තා අපි හොටෙල්ස් ගැන කතා කරා. එයා කියනවා ප්‍රයිවට් සෙක්ටර් එකේ ඉන්නකොට ඇත්තටම වැඩි එච්චර දේවල් පේන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ප්‍රයිවට් සෙක්ටර් එකේ අපි ජොබ් එකක් කරනවා, ජොබ් එකක් ගන්නවා, වැඩි ගවර්න්මන්ට් ඩිපාර්ට්මන්ට්ස් එකේ එච්චර කනෙක්ෂන්ස් එහෙම නැහැ. ඒක අඩුයිනේ. ඒ වුණාට එයා හොටෙල් එක හදන්න පටන් ගත්තම තමයි එයාට තේරුනේ මේ ලංකාවේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න. ලෑන්ඩ් රෙජිස්ට්‍රි එකේ ඉඳලා ග්‍රාම සේවකගේ ඉඳලා කෝස් කරන corruption.
And each one wants a right to push your paper.
How deep the corruption is said, but his mentality is, what's the point? So my question to him is, like, if somebody doesn't do this, then what's to stop this? Like, why would the next guy building the hotel not go through the same experiences as you? Don't you want to make that change? So එතකොට එහෙම කිව්වම ඉතින් වැඩි උත්තරයක් නැහැ. ඒ වුණාට මිනිස්සුන්ගේ අතර ගොඩක් apathy එකක් තියෙනවා. What's the word in Sinhala for apathy? I don't know. Apathy කියන්නේ අර
they can't be bothered.
ඒගොල්ලෝගේ වැඩි.
I can't do anything, so
ඒගොල්ලෝගේ වැඩි
I'll
කරගන්න.
Yeah. This is the way we can't do it.
ලාමක
ගතියක් තියෙනවා.
notice eaters, no? They just sit and
අපි දැන් ගොඩක් සිංගප්පූර් ගැන කතා කරනවානේ. සිංගප්පූර් ඔය තැනට යන්න එක හේතුවක් තමයි බ්‍රයිබ් එක දෙන එක නයි. බ්‍රයිබ් එක ගන්න එක.
ඒ වුණාට මම මේ සිංගප්පූර් ගැන කතා කරන්න කියලා මොකොටි ටොපු දෙකක් කෑවා ළඟදී. because Singapore meritocracy කිව්වට අද සිංගප්පූර් nepotism තමයි there. ලිගොන්ගේ පුතා තමයි අද ඉන්නේ. එතකොට
at least they educate.
No, that's true.
I know my morons in parliament.
Yeah, I don't want to digress into something else, but api activist community හැටියට we have to also understand, we have to be pragmatic, right? There's no perfect solution to anything. We should see the good in places where we can see the good,
of course.
right? And then take what good we can, not knock it all down and say that's it, one small thing and that's it, end the story and all that. I mean, how Singapore got to where it is today, okay, and of course there's no protest in Singapore. We have to acknowledge that.
Yes,
But
yes.
there is a place for protesting.
Hey, අපේ තිබ්බනේ.
ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ. ඒක තමයි හොඳටම කලේ
No, no, there's a particular place where you can
protest. You don't need a permit to protest.
Yeah.
There are places that they have designated to protest.
yes, protest.
But
So
even,
your problem.
I mean,
Yeah.
that turned out to be like running with the ඒක දැක්ක ගමන් වහකඳුර වුණා.
දැන් අද golf face කියොත් අනගොල්ලට තියෙනවා අපිට වඩා අයිති. අනගොල්ල the grass has more rights than people.
No, because the other day I did the iftar, one of the officers from the port authority came. Already there are enough of problem with the police there. Inside that from the port authority, saying that you can't do an event, you have to come to our office and get a permission. I asked them why. No, these are 99 years of lease. Now I asked them, golf face is also under this. Yes, golf face also belongs to port authority.
I don't
Birds
think
Authority or Port City?
Port city.
No. That they can't say no because
no, they
they-
told me to go to port city office and take a letter.
that day when we had one of the 9th events, I mean like several
This
months
was the
back.
9th only.
Yeah, several months back, the sports authority had come and made a complaint. The Port Police said, but again, the deed that was given, there's a Supreme Court decision about that area. It cannot be used for other purposes. They can't say the sports authority owns this. You can't. It is intended for use of the people.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Now they are,
But golf face
they
is
are openly,
public
I mean, it's openly being said that golf face has been leased
Yeah.
to Port City. No?
Yes.
Now there's you have to get the
You have to get the approval from Port City, from the office.
So they might have done something illegal, or they might have bypassed it. If there's a Supreme Court rule order like that, if they're going to,
Yeah,
are the police lying?
නෑ the police
Yeah, they are lying because that's why if they.
No,
I mean,
Siranta, this was not the police who told me. A person bought tie and came with the ID card of Port City. He was
They
an
can-
officer from
so
Port
what-
City.
so they
what-
can't. They
what
can't.
right does he have to tell you anything?
Anyway,
Anyway, we are digressing. Go ahead, Sharanda. Go ahead.
So thing අපි දැන් ඒ වැඩපිළිවෙල හරහා මෙතන එහෙම වුණා නම් ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණ if the Supreme Court has given a decision, think අපිට තියෙන්නේ if we have broken some law, they can call the thing to courts to. They don't do that. No. I mean මේ ආණ්ඩුවට අරගල කරුවෙක් මොකක් හරි මේ මොකක් හරි හෙල්මට් එකක් නොදා ගියත් ඒක ඇතිනේ අල්ලගෙන උස්සගෙන දුවල උසාවි දාන්න. So if they had a legal base to do something, they would have done it. They can't do it. And how can the port city එකට දීලා ඔක්කොම කරලා cabinet is taking a decision that it can only be used for religious events and recreational
Exactly.
purposes. Then
That's
how
the
can
point.
it
That's
is
the
if it is the port city that is owning port city එකට අයිති මේ port city එකට හෝ ඔය වරාය අයිති නම්
Yeah.
කොහමද cabinet එක තීන්දුව කරන්නේ මේ
I must say you're like an encyclopedia. ඔයාලා හැමතැනම අරන් යනවා. කඩියත් එක්ක කතා කරනවා.
it doesn't make sense මේ අපේ රටේ වෙලා තියෙන මිනිස්සු මේවා අර කියපු ගමන්
Yeah, you
අපි
take it
විශ්වාස
as that's right. You take it at face value.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
thing is to Siranta, like when cops, when people in authority, you know, this is another issue. Breakdowning government authority. When a policeman, if he comes and says, you can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, as citizens, we believe him.
Yeah.
Right? Do we as citizens expect a cop to blatantly lie? We
We
don't. No,
we are conditioned.
Unfortunately, yeah.
We are conditioned to obey. We are conditioned to obey.
Yeah, but we have to obey. That is there.
We are conditioned to obey. So if we can't trust our institutions to tell us the right thing,
Yeah.
that is dangerous for a democracy, right?
my argument ඒ කියන්නේ මගේ
Siranta, I mean, a good example is Deshabandhu Tennakonno.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why they're trying to include him into this.
Yeah.
And now he has been,
Yeah,
I think his name has been renewed. Basically, in that video, he comes and says on the 9th, he assures the people in the Argale, don't worry, I will not not allow people to come and attack you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he allows people to do. So this is a senior DIG. So basically,
He was.
where the public trust in the police force
Is eroded. Yeah.
but Chris, let me stop you there because we must understand even in United States,
Yeah.
you go to a US citizen, you go to a British citizen, you go to a citizen who is outspoken, who is, I mean, not the normal person, I mean, a person who is, sluggish and, just minds their own business and say, an active citizen of a country the first thing he will say to you is, I mean, it's in social media that they openly say, never trust a cop.
Yes.
That is what we need to.
I can't.
Even in
I can't
United
accept that, Chirag. I can't because
As
these are
citizens, we shouldn't have to feel that way about a cop, right?
Yeah, but
should.
even in
These are
America,
the-
even in United
Yeah,
States,
no, you shouldn't feel that, but that is the
things
thing.
No,
they lie.
but
No, but there
but
are
in the
good cops
US,
and bad
yeah,
cops.
see, in the US, there's a racial component to it
Yeah.
also.
That's right.
Yeah.
So here also there's a racial component.
I mean, this
Right?
is
Because if you
basically.
look at North and East, the policing is done mostly by single policemen. In the North and East also,
Is it?
yeah, the police force doesn't have a proper representation of minorities.
Yes.
They don't have. That is a huge issue. So there are policemen who are recruited in the South are sent to the North for law enforcement, right? So that is
Now,
a big issue.
when we talk about the police, today's main topic that is, hitting the news.
Yeah.
Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police Ajit Rohana and Priyantha Veerasuriya have objected to their recent transfers approved by the Ministry of Public Security, Tiranalas.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So, this is මේක තමයි අපි මේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන වෙනස.
And there is no approval from the police commission
Yeah.
either.
No,
That's
no.
right. That's
Police
right.
commission, you know.
Police
No.
Commission has
Why can't the
basically.
chairman of the police commission, you will see him worshipping,
Yeah.
welcoming the Senator Box.
So let
That is enough.
Yeah, we will let Chiran
So, ඉතින් මෙතන වෙලා තියෙන්නේ අජිත් රෝහණ and ප්‍රියන්ත වීරසූරියලා මේ විදියට විරුද්ධ වෙන්න තත්ත්වයට they are opposing this because now it has come to a level that nobody can live inside the police. If you take them අපි ඔය කතා කරාට පොලිසිය එළියේ ඉන්න එක මේ අවුව මැද්දේ just imagine the cops have to stand. Are they having even an umbrella? No. These are things that they should have put cameras and they should be inside quarters and they should be monitoring in a central station.
Yeah.
Instead, we are seeing cops all over the place standing and risking their lives without the proper safety equipment. Sometimes even evenings. In Colombo, it's very rare, but in other parts of the country, some cops don't have the necessary illuminating equipment and they are in the middle of the road
Yeah.
and somebody knocks them down. Breaks a leg, they are going to suffer.
Yeah.
The IGP is not going to keep his leg up in a, So, this is the reality. So, this has come to an extent where the independence of the police is in so much question. Now, the people inside the police itself
are now reacting.
It's about time.
It's about I always said, if there is one person, we always say not every policeman is bad, but if there is one good policeman,
Yeah, they should speak up.
they should speak up.
But of course they're worried about
They're
their
victimized.
yeah, and also there is, I think in the government service there is something called an establishment clause, right? Like doctors, for example, can't criticize the medical, they can't question the ministry or whatever. Same with anybody in the government profession. So one thing we need in this anti-corruption law is a good whistleblower policy. People should be able to
They
come
should be
out.
protected.
Right now, look at Tushar Gunawardena, the whistleblower at the Consumer Affairs Authority.
He
Executive
can't
Director.
live in Sri Lanka. He has to.
He's in Australia right now. Now he did a Twitter space with me where he basically gave the entire lowdown on the garlic scam, the gas explosions, and also this Bandhuru Gunawardana's conflict of interest with this Prajna Bandhu fund or something like that, where he basically revealed that 2 rupees from every mask was going to this private fund. Right? And State Trading Corporation, anybody in government has to buy from State Trading. So now a whistleblower like that with incontrovertible evidence, which he's now putting online, right? Last few days he's been publishing, but he has to do it from Australia, right? Because
I saw
right, because
I didn't follow the full Twitter thing, but I think he shared an email where he had informed Bandhura Gunawardena as Minister of Consumer Affairs and Lasantha Alagayawan as Deputy Minister
not just that,
of the danger.
Not just that, he copied the AG's department, he copied the president, he copied
Of the
everybody.
danger in this gas thing before the explosion.
Right? Way before the explosion. And 7 people died, right?
They have
Can you
done
bring
that.
those lights back?
7 people, nearly 800 explosions
Yeah.
inside
Guys,
houses.
one more thing. I I read parts.
Yeah.
You know when gas leaks, you get that smell.
Yeah,
They've removed
Yeah,
that.
removed that.
That smell thing
Has
has
been
How
been
do you like that? So that these guys, I mean, that's the level. And they say we have Bandula coming and talking like, you know.
he's still today the government spokesman,
Yeah.
cabinet spokesman,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Under Ranil Wickremesinghe.
they come and
We have to say
speak.
that.
I mean,
They come and
this-
speak
this-
now,
this-
like, you know, he's a cabinet, he's a spokesman, right?
Yes, he's the cabinet spokesman.
I mean, this is what we need to change. This is where
Agreed.
people need to change.
Yeah.
Enough, when they mess up, you're enough, go home, do something else,
Oh.
do a business, run a shop, do something else. Because people can, their capacity, Bandala Gunawardhana's capacity, they can be all for, I know, they can be teaching. It's enough, they should go
No, I
away.
don't think he should be teaching much. I will be telling people they can live on super family people.
I think
That's
but can I tell you, after telling people 2500 ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා,
I don't understand.
I saw that.
his son had
I saw
sent a
this.
request to Satosa
Mm.
asking
I
for
saw
things for free. Happy Comfort because he wanted for his tea about like tea,
I shared on
happy cow cheese, and he's asking them for free from
Free.
Satosa.
Oh my God.
That is the beauty of it. So Tushar had put that letter also. I think he's now or no F's to give
Yeah.
that.
Who's son?
Bandula
Bandula's
son.
son. He's the-
Bandula's sons as well. He has three
he's
daughters.
the private secretary. His son. He's the private.
But he has
he's the
three daughters and a
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if this anti-corruption bill that they are going to bring can guarantee the protection of whistleblowers, it would be, I mean, considered not the best in Asia or South Asia.
world.
It would be the best in the world. Because if you take Edward Snowden, who leaked NSA's, I mean,
Yeah.
this is reality. NSA had a mass surveillance program that extended
Way
without
well
the-
beyond.
way beyond what is really required, and they had a
Also, what
separate-
is permitted by law.
no, there was a court system that even the policymakers didn't know. Visa courts, they say
FISA courts.
Visa courts,
Yeah.
and then these Visa courts, then they were getting orders from this non-transparent court system, non-known to people, non-known to the legislature, and then they were surveillancing people who associate
Yeah.
their targets,
Yeah,
and
he's-
they were using that, they were misusing that surveillance
Yeah.
to
Spy.
on, no, to create, I mean, to do.
They were just gathering data on everybody, which
So
they
they
shouldn't be
were
doing.
running webcams
Yeah.
and seeing what people do
Yeah,
in their room.
it was pure. It was invasion of privacy.
It
basically.
was, I mean, it was invasion of privacy, and for some it was enjoyment, it was entertainment. This was the problem.
Mm.
So this is what Snowden came and
No,
exposed.
the
But
anti-
he is considered a criminal there.
yeah.
So
the
if-
anti-corruption law here, anti-corruption law here doesn't protect whistleblowers. If you come forward, they can arrest you.
This is the now that is where I disagree with Singapore's stance. Those who giving the fine and taking the fine both are then අපෙත් ඔක කියනවා. හැබැයි in reality, if a person can prove that he gave the bribe with intention to capture it, where it is recorded, that person becomes a state. That person is considered a state witness. Is to be considered a state witness, because that is the prosecution's evidence against that other person.
Yes.
So it works both ways. The cop can record and say that I captured you giving the bribe and blame the other person. But giving a bribe is,
But I suppose they have to then
no,
come
the
forward
thing is,
before their court.
in Sri Lanka, what they are doing is, when it comes to corruption, they are saying, if you take a bribe, you're wrong. If you give a bribe, wrong. So basically say, both parties shut up.
Yeah.
That is not the basis of law. If you come forward, that does not mean that that person should be held accountable, because he is the person, she or she is the person who becomes the evidence. So the evidence can be sent to jail.
Yeah.
So there is the legal system, the Attorney General will have to make them a state witness and then proceed from there. I mean, these are basic things that are being left over by the politicians.
Yeah. But I feel now, I mean, just talking about the news this week, right? I mean, running a statement about teachers for one thing, right? About prosecuting teachers and confiscating their property.
That is-
I have a different point to make here. Okay? So, and also now today he talked about shutting down the stock exchange, right? So the problem now, the stock exchange has something called a circuit break anyway. If there's a sudden collapse, investor confidence drops and something like that, they shut. That is how the stock exchange functions. But the executive can't take over the stock exchange and shut it down, right? That's not his job, right? That is not the job of a president, right? The problem is the way he characterizes it. Like, I will do it, right? Now he says, I will bring laws and prosecute teachers. No, isn't that the job of the AG? So by him making these grandiose statements, he's weakening institutions.
Of course.
He's weakening institutions,
Of
right?
course, he doesn't understand it.
Right. This is the problem with this executive presidency. It is so all powerful. They think they're bloody gods, right? You know, and this is the most powerful version of this now, right? What do you think, Chirag?
Well, the Aragala proved that the executive is no god.
True. That is
True.
true.
That is where Aragala came.
That is the executive, even of the United States, is no god.
There's no God.
People are
Stronger.
No. The people standing as one is God.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, if you take it as
Which is why
in that context, in that literal context.
Which is why since
Otherwise,
which is why Gerardo, since Ryan got his presidency, which he has been wanting to get for a longest possible time, and no way in hell would he have been voted as president.
Unless he came from the back door.
He is doing everything he can to stop people, like-minded people, getting together again. Anything possible. For example, if there's going to be a protest with about 50 people, they will ensure there are about 400 cops there. You know, so that is their way. That is how he is trying to ensure that he stays there for the next 2-3 years.
Yes,
Right? And now we can see his right hand, or that mad dog, Vajrabe, or the way he's speaking. What does he say now? Ranilta tava avuruddu 10ක් දෙන්න. Some time ago he said
No, but I think he's
at a political rally. Vajira Abhiwadana said, right? Just some time ago. ඔගොල්ලෝගේ ළමයි අරගලයට මේ වන්න එපා. එව්වති ආණ්ඩුවේ රස්සය.
I think Vajrabe Vardhanavat ඒගොල්ලෝ තියන් ඉන්නේ ගොන් කතා කියන්නේ.
No, but
he says the stupidest things like
these type of things. It affects it
penetrates
the
people.
mind of the especially people in those areas. You know, they're like කොච්චර අමාරු නාමයක්
No, but I mean,
ඔයා ගිහලා අරගලට
හැබැයි
ඉන්නවා.
මේ සුමාන වජිර ගැන කතා කරනවා නම් we have to talk about a statement about the Easter.
Yes.
මූලාශ්‍ර හොයන්න එපා. හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ.
They already got.
Can we go and tell that to the victims' families? You never.
I mean, you can say that
basically,
they're heartless, but that would mean that they're hearts, which they don't.
Chaminda, can you put that Channel 4 interview with Ranil and Murthy, I think, who interviewed him? The Channel 4. I'll tell you why. Now we are talking about Vajrabe Wadana, right? Then you all remember that press conference just after Easter attack with Raj Senratna, Rauf Hakim, John Amatunga, they were all there. And then when some reporter asked them, John Amatunga goes, දැන් ඉතින් අලාගවලා ඉවරයි, මිනිස්සු බැලලා ඉවරයි, දැන් ඉතින් කරන්න දෙයක් නෑනේ. You know, and they're actually laughing at that thing. But then I was thinking, how insensitive can they be? And now Vajrabe was, how insensitive can they be? But then you have to understand where this is coming from. It's from their leader, Ranil Wickremesinghe. Just watch this interview. How Ranil speaks just 4 days after the Easter attack. He's interviewed by this guy.
I'll find it. You guys, you had a point about.
He's basically, I'm not head of I mean, I don't have defense. You know.
Kept saying you're the prime minister.
Yeah, that guy keeps saying you're the prime minister, right? And he says, no, you're the head. You're the head of all the people in parliament. But he's like, no, we are trying to have a dialogue with the president. You know, we are not interested in the personal problems that Maithripala and Ranil had. We didn't ask Ranil to appoint Maithripala. That's one.
This one, no?
No.
This one.
No. This
This is the one.
No,
Look
Go back.
at that. Sri Lanka disappeared, probably did. And what? Yeah, he actually said that.
Yes. Yes, I said that.
No, this is not the one, but even look at that.
Anyway, the council meets in Geneva, we have a proposal.
No, not
This is not
There
the
is some
one.
woman who interviewed.
But even this, I mean, what?
This one, I think.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one.
No, whether they have the explosives or they are doing something.
There is a letter on the internet at the moment, which is apparently from a police chief warning about specific.
Was it for a second?
Is that true?
For a second.
It was a data center.
This is, guys, this is 4 days after the Easter attack. 4 days. 269 people dead. He was the prime minister. Right? The president was a person who the UNP nominated.
Exactly.
Right? Because he could not get enough votes to win the election. So he nominated Maitripala. Now he has had an issue with Maitripala and he has been locked out of the Defence Council meetings.
Yeah.
4 days later, listen to him talk.
And also before you start, he doesn't say that he's been locked out until after the
Ah,
vote.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But,
Why did he say
yeah.
Yeah, he should have played held in parliament.
Exactly.
Yeah. So after something happens, now he tells the public.
Yeah, because that is the responsibility of that office. You know, if you're locked out and the president is going to go haywire,
Yeah.
Then you
he
should
should
have spoken
Well,
up.
I mean, there are a lot of things he can do. One, he can use parliamentary privilege. No?
Yeah.
He can walk into parliament and play held there, right?
Before you play this,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, once you see this interview, it makes perfect sense. How that other interview with John Amaratham, and all those guys, how they were laughing. It makes perfect sense when you see Vajirabhe saying, "No, forget about it."
Yeah.
Watch.
The key divisions about warning on attacks on mosques. It has been conveyed down to the Ministry of Muslim Affairs and they have conveyed it down to the relevant mosques. These are mosques where sales are being.
And is it correct that Mohammed Qasim, who is one of the suspects listed, is believed to be at large, possibly with a bomb, targeting these mosques?
The mosque law, no?
As you know, these mosques which have the bodies of saints are not accepted as being correct belief.
This is the section you need to listen to. Hold on.
That there hasn't been a minister for law and order.
No.
That must contribute to what's going on here. Do you think if there had been a minister in charge of domestic security, this would have been stopped?
The information should have been accompanied also.
But this was a catastrophic mistake by the president.
So we're waiting for the investigation and really into the president's assassination.
Had this been
president's assassination.
Bullshit assassination?
There,
as a result of Syria.
Well, the intelligence was following them and sometimes in contact with them.
And
In contact with
at any time.
No, we did not have that right time because there was possibility that they will be worried with the reason incident.
So the idea of an extremist attack has never been raised in your past.
No, we discussed that. I said especially after the gun attack, but then there was no solid information which had come. Of course, on this occasion, solid information did come. Issue is why that information not communicated to all the departments.
Isn't the first job of the Prime Minister the security of the nation?
Yes, and the cabinet we are responsible.
yeah. So he's responsible.
So as the prime minister, he's the head of the cabinet, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he's saying responsible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, forget Mahabolokharu. Buck has to stop somewhere, right? Than the president, right?
Now, the funniest part about all this,
Yeah.
now this information came, it was relayed where they are going to, and one of the bombers, Jamil, was under surveillance from the army intelligence from 2016 or something. So he had been under surveillance and he committed suicide. I mean, say, now even the defense secretary, what did he say when, I mean, that is what I like about these international journalists. They are very up to point.
Yeah.
So they were like going to Hemesi and asking that question, famous question. Were you informed? We never expected අර හොඳට කරයි කියලා හිතුවා මෙච්චර කොහොම හොඳට කරයි කියලා හිතුවේ නෑ ඒක අන්තිමේදී now we have to understand අපේ රටේ මිනිස්සුන්ට තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන දේ තමයි මේ විදියට මේක මෙහෙමයි දැන් සරලව ගන්නකො වසීම් චාර්ජුඩීන් රසන්ත ප්‍රදීප් එක්මැලිගොඩ කෙනයි දෙන්නයි තුන් දෙනයි අර කීත් නොයා ඉතින් ඕවා එක්කෙනයි දෙන්නයි තුන් දෙනයි කාටවත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ කියලා නීති 269 then 272යි some people have passed away after the attack. I mean, after getting treated, some so 269 is now 272.
Is that right?
I didn't know
Okay,
that.
so
Victims who died.
So it's like 272. And then you know what happened again? In Gota's time, 2 million. Am I correct? 20 million people of this country suffered.
22.
Yeah.
22 million people of this country suffered
Yeah.
in the same context. I didn't know, we didn't know, I couldn't do anything. අපි කිව්වා, ඇහුවේ නැහැ, කළා, මෙහෙම වුණා, අරම වුණා.
Secretaries, they gave wrong information.
Yes.
Advisors, I was
Yeah.
advised wrong.
Brought advice wrong. This
Now
is
Namal
and
is saying it's a foreign
22
conspiracy.
million people still to this day
That may
some are
happen.
still suffering.
Yes.
Some are still suffering. Some committed suicide. I mean, I'm not aware of the reports, but we have to get the reports on the suicides.
Yes.
How many, if you compare to other years, how many have committed suicide?
I read an article saying this year the
Today's
risk of
article.
suicide.
Today's
You saw that,
article.
right?
Today's article, yes.
Risk of suicide is
Yeah.
very high this year.
Yeah, and the entire country is now in a trouble.
Yeah.
So, this what is Ranil doing about it? He is further traumatizing the people.
Yeah.
He is traumatizing the very people who are traumatized by the former politicians. Now, this has to stop.
Even this ADA is a form of trauma for people, right? The ADA coming in because for one thing, people are tired, people are exhausted, right? Aren't we exhausted, right? I mean, we want to continue. We must be exhausted. Too.
I'm not exhausted.
You know what I mean?
I-
It's like banging your head
No,
against
it's
the
like-
wall
it's
because
like-
you
it's like,
get over
you know,
something and then
You're
another thing.
trying to make something.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, the reason we are doing this here today and not on the street is because we thought it's important that we digest what happens in a week and talk about it. Right? Now, we talk about this week, by the time it's next Wednesday, we'll be talking about something completely different.
Every
We don't even have
there
time
is-
to, because there's a fire hose of things that come at us all the time. Corruption. Now, 250 has gone to somebody's bank account in London. Yeah, Vijay Dasam here. I mean, I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what a disgrace. How much do we have to pay to Bangladesh? 200 billion, right? Right?
Yeah,
That loan
300.
repayment.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes these numbers don't mean anything, right? All these zeros and all that. But this is our money, you know, people's money, right? When I
It's
look
our
at my
tax, right?
paycheck, right? And when I get the PAYE, my blood boils. When I look at who am I giving this money to? For what reason? It's
And if it is to
unjustified.
economic recovery, you feel okay,
Right.
but it's just going into
It's
their
just going to their
Right,
pockets.
I mean,
Politicians'
yeah,
pockets.
I mean,
I recently we saw 800 million of some of the money.
yes, gone to
How
how
That is sickening, no?
Yeah, so this is what we want to do. We want to talk about it.
Yeah,
We want to
thing is this, guys,
bring it up.
one of the reasons I think we are doing this is to reach more people. Thing is, the people have to understand. Politicians will come, politicians will lie, politicians will rob. Whether it's a UNP, whether it's SJP, whether it's the PA, they will do it.
Yeah.
We have to hold with them.
Hold
We have
It is
accountable,
we are
right?
Yeah.
If your thing, especially if say currently fans of the cohort or fans of the UNP.
මේ දවස්වල UNP
Yeah.
කාරයෝ
No, let's say
Yes.
fans of either party, right? If the fans of the either parties think us finding fault with these things, for example, cabinet spokesman Vandana Gunawadana and his part, him being fully aware of low quality gasoline. Right? If we are if we are talking about things like that, and the people who are listening to us, or people, especially the supporters of the government, say that these guys are just causing issues, just causing trouble, not allowing Ranil to not allowing Ranil to run the country. Who else can do? Understand? We are doing this out of love for the country. We are trying to make this a better place. The more you all endorse a candidate who supports these type of things, the more you all say, it's okay. as long as it's my candidate, I'll let them do it. You are enabling these people.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Whoever it is, you have to
Whoever
hold
it
them
is,
accountable.
if you're supporting, I don't know, let's say JVP, Andhra Kumar Dissanayake, if he does something wrong,
Yeah.
you come forward and
Yeah. As you have a responsibility to
Yeah.
hold him responsible.
right? You can't
Hold him to high.
You can't say as long as I'll find Ranil's fault, I'll find Ajit's fault, I'll find this,
Yeah.
but Andhra Kumar I won't say.
Yeah.
Then you are not doing fair by yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Now, Mehemai, people accuse us. You hate this. Actually, I don't have to hate or love politicians. Right?
Yeah.
I don't. That's a waste of my time loving and hating politicians. Right? We all want for the country, and if we don't hold our politicians' feet to, they will never do the thing until we know better quality people are in these positions, acting in the public interest, doing something on behalf of the nation rather than
Themselves.
self-interest. Then we'll know we can leave them alone to do what they're doing. Okay, let's go back to Singapore. I'm sure Singaporeans don't even think about politics for even 5 minutes of the day. We are consumed by this, right?
They don't have
consumed
that
by
time.
this, right? We are affected. Everything we do, we are affected by what politicians have done to us, right? Now in Western democracies, people don't concern themselves with politics. Everything just works. They turn up once in 4 years and vote. That's it.
So, Chaminda, that is what we set out to do from the start. No,
Yeah.
180 days ago when we started this, over 1 year ago,
Yeah.
we wanted system change.
Yes.
Actually, if the system is in place, Lisha, even if Ranil Wickremesinghe is president, it's fine.
Yeah.
He cannot abuse the system.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, no, he's
the right
forced
thing.
to do the right thing.
Yeah,
The
do the
system
right
is in place. It's because the system is not in place that these things happen.
Yeah.
Actually, if the system is in place, I have no issue with Ranil Wickremesinghe,
Yeah.
or even Mahinda, because we might personally dislike the person, right? My personal dislike for Ranil and Mahinda both are, they are both 70 plus years old, 73. I think they're 45 years plus in parliament. I mean, forgive me for thinking after 45 years, if they can't sort this thing out, they are a big part of this problem.
Yeah.
If the country is bankrupt and they have spent 45 years as politicians
They are
in this country,
responsible.
I think they are hugely responsible. So for me, trying to give them another chance is pure stupidity. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's just
No,
me.
but
Get the system done.
Yes, Chris.
Even if Mahinda is president next time,
Yeah.
Pasha, if the system is
Yeah,
there.
Chris, the thing is, right, there's a question people ask, if not him, whom and who is
Okay.
there?
I
But
have-
that's not the question. Wait, hang on.
Okay, I have.
We have to trust the democratic process, right? Now, Gota came in through a democratic process, right? But the problem is, the system was set up in such a way with all that power he got. What did he do? He made unilateral decisions, right? And the people corrected their mistake by rising up and getting rid of him. People's mistake of giving him that power, bringing him in, and people rose up and got rid of him, right? Now they're trying to change that so that also can't happen. Now they're bringing in laws, creating a situation where you can't even do that, right? So this question about if not Ranil, who then? It doesn't matter. You have to trust the democratic process. Give the people an opportunity to bring somebody in who has a mandate and take the country forward, right? That's what the democratic process is. But if going forward means giving to the same people under the same system, what's the point? You get the same results, right? That's why system change is the most important of everything that we're demanding. Vote or go home was just the first battle cry.
Actually, Ranil, when he was Prime Minister and
Yeah.
Maitri President, they did bring in the 19th Amendment,
Yes,
which
yeah.
actually curtailed the powers. The commissions were independent.
But they reversed that.
They reversed it, and now they're happily
Sitting there.
Sitting there
And now with Ranil, is anybody even talking about abolishing the executive?
Not a single person.
Nobody, right?
Everybody from
I mean-
Chandrika onwards, they promised
the only one in Maitri only
He reduces.
But Maitripala, I saw him talking about
my gosh, yes.
What's his
මාව මරාගෙන කන්න
Adina wants to hang
Adil
him.
was hanging here.
මං ඇහුවා අඩුවලින්
දැන් මේකනේ දැන් එයා ඒකේ අර ඊට වඩා context එකකුත් කියලා දෙන I saw news. So he had told about this Zaharan's food was given to some intelligence agency, foreign intelligence and so on. මම මේ ළඟදී ඔය CID එක RTI එකක් දාලා it became a
Yeah.
controversial thing where I told them, okay,
Selfie, no?
මේක මේ ෆෝන් එකක් බාරගත්තම ඕගොල්ලොන්ගේ බාරකාරත්වයේ වැඩපිළිවෙල මොකක්ද කියලා. ඒකට උත්තරයක් දී ගන්න බෑ. මට කෝල් කරලා කියනවා අපි ගාව CCTV නැහැ මේ අපි ඒවා මේ ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරන්න දැන් මේ ටෙන්ඩර්ස් මේවා කරනවා.
Please take another one.
Then we are having an incident where Zahran's phone is apparently, according to Maitri, is missing. ඉතින් මේ විදියට ෆෝන් එකක් නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන් නම් ෆෝන් එකේ data
Still
ටික
in the position of the
Police.
police.
එක ගත්ත එක
Why
දැන්
are we spending
intelligence
so
එකට
much on
දුන්නා.
defense if they can't secure a
ඉතින්
phone?
how can we do this? I mean, how can any justice for anything happen? I mean, දැන් මගේ يعني අපි හැමෝම මේ දේවල් කරලා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මේ රට හරිය මාර්ගයට ගන්න. එහෙමනම් මේකේ තියෙන සිස්ටම් එක කැඩලා තියෙන තැන් කොච්චරද? දැන් මම සුප්‍රීම කෝට් එකට මම ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා දැන් අර මගේ 2020 ඇරෙස්ට් එක ගැන. දැන් ඊට පස්සේ දැන් ආයෙ මට යන්න වෙනවා මාව මේ ළඟදී උස්සගෙන ගිය එක ගැන. මේ විදියට වෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම දැන් අපේ රටේ process එක due process එකේදී අර අයුක්තිය කියන්නේ just an action.
Yeah,
Somebody
easy.
taking something, doing something, that's the injustice. You know?
But
That
to correct it,
to correct it, you must go through a huge
process.
And දැන් අපේ රටේ වෙලා තියෙන දැන් මිනිස්සුන්ට ඉස්සරහට ඇවිල්ලා දඩයක් දැන් මං දන්න කෙනෙක් මේ ළඟදී මම මේක ගැන දඩයක් ගැන මෙතන දරාව තියෙන මරදානේ පොලිසියම ගාව අර මෙහෙම එනකොට මේ පංචිකාවත්ත පැත්තේ ඉඳන් එනකොට මෙහෙම පාර දෙපැත්තට බෙදෙනවා. මේ පැත්ත යනවා ආම ස්ට්‍රීට් ඒ පැත්තට මේ පැත්ත මරදාන පැත්තට හැරෙනවා පොලිසිය පැත්තට වංගුව ගන්න. දැන් එතකොට එතන දැන් එයා මෙහෙම දැම්මා මේ එයා වැරදි පැත්තට දාගත්ත එයා අර ආම ස්ට්‍රීට් හැරෙන පැත්තට දාලා මේ පැත්තේ වංගුව අරගෙන ජෙන් ජෝසප් කොලෙජ් එක පැත්තට යන්නේ පල්ලෙහාට ගිහිල්ලා යන්න ඕනේ හරිනම්. ඒක ගන්නකොට එතන තියෙන පොඩි බෝඩ් එකක් ගහලා මේ පැත්තට හැරවීම තහනම් කියලා හිඩස හදලා තියෙනවා පාරේ පේව්මන්ට් එක ඩ්‍රොප් කරලා. වාහනයක් දාන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට. හැබැයි අතන දාලා දෙන මේ පැත්තට දාන්න බෑ. ඉතින් මෙයා අනිත් පැත්තට දැම්මේ. දැන් මේ පැත්තට දාන්න බෑ කියලා තියෙන්නේ මෙයාට කරෙක්ට් කරගන්න ආයෙ මරදාන පැත්තට ගන්න. He took that this thing. And the cops came and stopped and issued a fine for that. දැන් නීතිය අනුව දැන් එයා මොකද කරේ කියලා දඩේ කෙවුවා. Because he can't say then රතවාහන වර්ධකට වුණත් අපි උසාවියට ගියොත් process එක වෙන්නේ වරද පිළිගන්නේ නැත්තම් අපකාරයෙක්ව ගේන්න ඕනේ.
You spend your money and time. No?
I mean come on මේ පොඩි දේවල්. I mean I'm not talking about criminal offences, traffic offences, small offences. that criminal ඒවා. හරිද criminal ඒවා යවනවා සමත මණ්ඩලයට. මුලින්ම සමන criminal offences සමත මණ්ඩලය. රතවාහනයකට සමත මණ්ඩලයක් නැහැ. රතවාහනයකට කෙලින්ම ගෙනල්ලා නිවැරදි කරුවා අපයක් ගේන්න ඕනේ අපයට කවුරු හරි ගේන්න ඕනේ. It's a huge process.
They make you jump through hoops to get any kind of justice there.
මේ වැඩපිළිවෙල කියන්නේ මේ අපේ නීතියේ හදලා තියෙන වැඩපිළිවෙල දැන් ඔය සම්බන්ධයෙන් when we had a discussion at the HRC ඊට අවුරුදු 2කට විතර කලින් HRC එකේදී ප්‍රවාහන අමාත්‍යාංශය පිළිගත්තා ඔව් අපි වෙනම මණ්ඩලයක් වගේ එකක් හදන්න ඕනේ ට්‍රැෆික් ඔෆෙන්ස් එක උසාවි දාන්න කලින් එතනට ගිහිල්ලා මිනිස්සුන්ට ඕපන්ලි ඩිස්පියුට් කරන්න.
Yeah.
ඒ කියන්නේ සමහරක් ඒවා then it's a easier process.
Yeah.
ඉතින් ඒ වගේ තියෙන මේ අපේ රටේ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ දේවල් හින්දා තමයි අපේ මේ හැමදාම one after the other people don't like to seek justice. දැන් මේ නීති 88
because it takes too long.
It's
no really because let me just give you a small example. Let me give you a small example. I know a couple of foreign investors who put money here for a land. They're fighting that case for 15 years. 15 years they've been fighting. Now they're at a point where they just given up. Now they're like, forget it, man. What's the point?
So
right?
when I'm talking about a foreign investor and a land issue and something, the first thing that comes to my mind is Jathikada Urume leader. What's his name? Damak Miller. There is a court case against him.
Yeah, so
Brian Shadik.
Right, so there are so many like that.
He's
a shady bugger. No, the point I'm making is everybody's talking about an export-oriented economy. Everybody, NDP, SJB, everybody's talking about that. That is they're saying that's the only way we can come out of this mess.
How are the foreign investors protected?
Who is going to in a country where the legal system doesn't protect them, where the legal system doesn't protect their investment. I work with
where the labor laws support the employee rather than the employer.
Yeah.
No, the employer.
I mean, yeah, I know.
I know.
No, I know. I get you.
Money.
I get you. No, but now I work with.
Unless you're
Some-
running, then I'll.
There are investors who have put money into listed companies who have been defrauded. Listed companies who have been defrauded.
Really?
Yeah, I can tell you, right? After the live, I'll tell you. But that is the state of our country, right? I mean, that is the state
What foreign
where we are in.
investors
So system change means it has to be across the board. I don't think, going back to my friend who built a hotel, I mean, he's saying it is so deep from the ground level, to the councillors, to everybody, for every level of permission to this, to that, to approval, had to pay something, right? You can not just ministers and
It has to change for the top.
there is a
has to change from top.
deep-seated, we have a deep systemic issue.
And that problem is the people who come to these seats,
Yeah.
Ranil and the Rajapakshas,
Oh.
they don't have to go through this system. They even from their small days, they have not gone through this
No,
system.
they have not gone through this system.
So they don't realize what the system
Yeah.
is and how to fix it. Then, for example, best example is Godabe. He goes to the RMD and he does bit of
shouting.
tamasha,
Yeah.
saying, we do this, you have to do like this. No, may I make it? Has it resulted in anything?
Nothing.
So,
So,
He
Ranil-
got some publicity to the day and that's all.
Ranil Uttaran ekakama
Same thing, Ranil was the
Ranil-
because it is government organizations.
Then Saralawas,
Cool.
the iftar.
Oh.
I spoke to you, heard that recording. I spoke to Tiranalas about this iftar incident. Apple Kotua, and I had the
I didn't follow that.
Yeah, last press conference that didn't come. I think I had to get the video because I didn't put that live.
Oh,
So I had a separate press. I mean, I was invited to another press conference, so I put the recording there.
Okay, no problem.
And then I don't have the recording in this phone, so I can't play.
Yeah.
So
No, it's okay.
in that, when I just spoke to him and I told about this incident where this religious harmony has been disrupted, this Apalakotua and this Nalin Dilrupa behaving like this, and I told him I spoke to this minister 9 days before, 1st of April, after Anuruddha got caught.
Yeah.
That day at Mirihana, I spoke to the minister and said, look here, you have to stop this type of human rights violations. You have to do something about this. Then he was having good dialogue with me. I told him, you have to do this because apita maha vinashayak ve. Then he was like saying, me minissu munahari nagiti kiyana එක මම කිව්වා නෑ. What if we lose the GSP plus? What if United States decides to take a whack at us with a sanction? What if something that we supposed to get doesn't come from the World Bank or some other institution? We are going to get, we are not in a position to be violating human rights in this country.
Yeah.
Because if we are wanting investment, so when I told this, what you were saying, if we are wanting investment, there must be rule of law. So when I told this, he was like, okay, I will do something. Then nothing. 9 days later, this happened. So I spoke to him and said, ඔයාලා මේවට විරුද්ධව මොන හරි කරන්නේ නැත්නම් අපිට ඕගොල්ලන්ට විරුද්ධව උසාවිය යන්න. තමුසේ මට කතා කරේ තර්ජනය කරන්නද? This is his response to me. I mean,
But can
how
I tell you, I'm always amazed that they answer your phone.
I know.
And another incident.
No, I respect.
Let him finish his point.
I respect those who answer the phone.
Yeah.
Right? I respect those who answer the phone. Even Ranil's phone answers. Now he doesn't come to the phone because he knows I'm recording him. But I spoke to the SO and said, tell the bloody president that this type of bloody thing happened. He shouldn't. The SO spoke back to me and said, sir, kata kara amittumada කියලා. So I mean, I'm trying to get. People must understand. We lose GSP plus or some other benefit that we are supposed. And we are going to have a big suffering if some country thinks, the European Union thinks that we should not deserve this type of thing.
GSP plus is not a sure thing.
Yeah, but I
Right
actually think, guys, for them to even bring this thing on, I think they feel controlling.
Who's they?
The government.
Okay.
The government feels controlling the dissent within the citizens is more important
Then GSP
then
plus?
things like GSP
But-
plus,
but-
I am pretty
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I am pretty certain about it.
Because Chris, if you lose GSP plus,
Yeah.
I mean, getting it back, we lost it in 2010. We got it in 2017, right?
Right.
And for 7 years we didn't have it. Right?
And
You know
remember,
What the government?
No,
So
yeah.
you can quantify the loss to the economy.
No,
Big-
jumping
big-
up, I'm saying
yeah.
this.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
What I see is this. Ranil is thinking, okay, I am president. I am going to stay out the rest of
Yeah.
the
No, I hear you.
vote this term.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
2 years.
Two years, yeah.
Staying that 2 years is more important
Right.
than that's how
but,
they are
okay.
thinking that they think. It doesn't make sense.
You might be right, but let's hope you're not, right?
no, the thing
Because
is,
this country can't afford to lose GSP.
No, I mean,
no.
why
This
would
is,
they?
this is the thing.
Yeah.
This is the thing. What these people, what the Sri Lankans also don't understand. Most of the people, I mean the pro, I mean not the most of the way, I can't say most of the
Yeah.
people, but the pro, these Ranil people, they think, he violating human rights, interfering with religious these things,
Yeah.
interfering with dissent is such a good thing. Yes, that's a good thing. If you are a stable, self-sustained country and economy,
Yeah.
Singapore,
Yeah.
China,
China.
nobody gives. I mean Russia,
Japan.
nobody gives damn about human rights or
Yeah.
dissent or whatever. That is, they have a good economy and the people are not starving.
Yeah.
And we are a country that our people are starving, and the way that this is going is,
Yeah.
we are going to cut ourselves from the world if we go on this path.
Path, yes,
Because I mean, what people don't understand, United States is a democratic country. The people who value democracy. European Union is a country.
Yes, they're liberal democracies.
They value democracy and human rights. Their tax money is what we are getting as benefits and concessions.
IMF biggest funder is the US.
Those people will not like Sri Lanka receiving these benefits. So we should not blame those institutions, the UN or the EU or anything. But at the end of the day, we are at fault because our leaders who are now allowing these human rights
But
violations to
can I
take
tell
place.
you, they are setting the stage. If they don't get it, to blame the protesters.
But that
Yeah.
does not work with the international community.
You understand?
I mean, that's what they are coming to.
They're setting the stage.
There's one more. One more possibility. Now,
Guys, we're about to approach 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't think GGY will do a live, but I will share Chiranta's feed
okay.
on our
Yeah.
page as the live for
Alright.
day 180.
Yeah.
Chiranta, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So let Chris, if you can, last point I will let Chiranta wind.
All right. Okay. Basically, now this ATA Act, right? It is far more averse to the public than the PTM, right? So then, obviously, this government, that's where we are economically. We need GSP plus now more than ever now.
Yes.
So it doesn't logically make sense for them to even propose an act like this.
Chris,
Is it possible?
Chris.
Is it possible?
It's a distraction.
Yeah.
One is a distraction.
Human rights.
Two, they're trying to.
we did an entire space on it last Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I have not listened.
but yeah, we had Alan Keenan from Amnesty International, we had Tyagi from Amnesty here, and we had this, Amiza T, right?
That's right.
I mean, they spelled it out quite clearly. First thing Alan said was, there's no such thing as international community. Those are just our own constructs. They have all self-interest. Every country,
Yes.
right? I mean, you see from the way the US has behaved in Sri Lanka, the first country to give prominence to Ranil Wickremesinghe is the US.
Yes, of
First
course.
photo opportunity, all of that, right?
Of course.
Because over and above democracy, they have their own self-interest in a geopolitical context, right? So there are wheels within wheels when it comes to intergovernmental, institutional relationships and things like that. Sometimes we also don't understand that fully, right? We need to do about 10 spaces to understand some of these things. But the issue is ultimately about like power and the power center, right? They don't want the power center. So they will take certain calculated risks. In that space, the panel very clearly said, IMF doesn't really give too much towards the human rights stuff.
Wow.
They don't. Bank, which bank gives it?
That's right.
They don't really care about human rights. Banks don't really. It's money in, money out. Right?
Yeah. It's only
And the only place where we might have some hope is EU. EU is probably the only place where we can have some hope that they will stand up to the government in a forceful way and make some forceful demands and say, hey, listen, because UNHCR sessions are also still not resolved, right? Right?
Yeah.
So that's why Ali Sabri and Vijaydas ran to South Africa. But they need to put on a show to show the UNHCR they're doing something.
They are doing
right?
something which
Now Rasa Manikam question
Joyful
today.
actually it was a joyful trip.
Sorry, I'll let you go on.
ඒගොල්ලෝ හොඳටම කරන බව පේනවා.
පේනවා.
මොකද මේ I have to be frank, no, I have been fighting against police corruption from 2015 openly, right? I have never got assaulted by the police until
This administration. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, so අපි තමයි හොඳටම කළේ කියලා රනිල් නොකියුවට එයා තමයි හොඳටම කරලා තියෙන්නේ when it comes to human rights.
Yeah.
So he's on a destructive path. It's bad for the country, but people don't realize it's the same thing. අපි මේ අර කෝටාබේ decisions ගත්තා ඒ හින්දා අපිට ඒක අදාළ වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා නිහඬව හිටියා වගේ. ආර ගොවියන්ට පෝර ටික නැති වෙලා ඒගොල්ලෝ දුක් විඳා ගොවියන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්න කියලා ඉඳලා ඊට පස්සේ රට බඩගින්නට යනකොට මේ වුණා වගේ මේ විදිහට ගිහිල්ලා EU එකෙන් අරෙන් මෙහෙන් අපිව කැපිලා යනකොට මොකද ඉන්දියාව වුණා even India they are a democracy.
yes.
They will not like what is happening here. They will not
it's a democracy under Modi. So
Modi,
it's
but still, there is a rift, no? In a
there is.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some
Nobody
counterbalancing
stays. Yeah,
forces.
Modi is not going to stay as the Prime Minister of India forever.
No. There are
No,
counterbalancing
but he
forces.
thinks so.
No, but here the disturbing
same.
thing here is the people, forget the politicians, the people don't understand the value of an opposition in a democracy. They are shouting at the opposition saying, why aren't you joining the president?
Why are you? That's the most stupidest thing you can do.
132 people voted for him. He has enough power in parliament to do whatever he wants. He can bring any law he wants. Right? He can do good in this time. Right?
Which he is choosing to do bad.
What can the 54 seats in the opposition do that he can't do with 134 that he has already? Right? So this is an authoritarian tendency, right? Nobody can be against. Everybody has to line up, ducks in a row, right? Goose stepping, right? You know what I mean? I mean that is dangerous. Guys, can we wrap up?
Yeah.
We talked a lot. Chiranda, thank you so much.
Yes.
Your life has been our
And
life.
thanks for everyone for tuning in because
Thank
about 10, about 15 all the time it has been maintaining. So people are engaging.
Thank you.
Thank you
Just
for
before
the
we
listener.
close, since you mentioned about Rasa Manikam, Alisab, we call him Kotia.
Not Ali Sabri, Manusha.
We have
Sorry,
Manuras and now we have Kotias.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Manusha call him Kotia.
Yeah.
Let's not forget.
Now he's
He's the Rajapaksa government. Right? Jatiya Beragatta Rajapaksa Appachi, who made an actual Kotia
Into a minister.
a minister is Karuna Amman and Pillian the chief minister. Don't forget, Karuna Amman and Pillian were leading the LTT's eastern wing. Karuna Amman and Pillian were responsible for killing of 600 Buddhist monks, including novice monks, you know, young Samanera, 600. They were made ministers, minister and chief minister, right? So actual Kotiyas were made, right? This is the country we live in, right? The people were so grateful for Mahinda Rajapaksa for winning the war, and rightfully so. We are too. We are grateful too that they ignored all these things.
Yeah.
Right? A proper terrorist who has killed Buddhist priests, 600 Buddhist priests, was made a minister. Where were the Mahanayaka terrorists? Where were they? Right? So when all these things happened, we as citizens didn't speak out. Right? That is, so we are all at fault.
Yeah.
I mean, our parents, our grandparents should have spoken. They didn't do it. We are speaking out now purely because we want to correct this system.
Why we might not be able to do justice for everything, but once the system comes into place, we will make sure the system change will make sure that justice can be obtained.
Yeah, that is not beyond anybody's reach. Yes, absolutely. Okay, great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Chiranta. as always, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. I think next Wednesday we might have a few more, no? Otherwise, but on Sunday we are back in our usual spot in Timirigassar. So Chirantaki කට්ටිය බලන් ඉන්නවා නම් එන්න අපි join වෙන්න. Thank you.
181 will be next Sunday, 6 to 7.
6 to 7.
Thank you.
Right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Right.